to discuss very first lecture, that is what is basically DBMS, what is the history behind DBMS, what are the various types of DBMS, what was the system that was used when DBMS was not there, and we are supposed to do comparison between these two systems, like the system that was used before DBMS and the system that is DBMS. In addition, we will be discussing about various models. What is data? What is models? What are data models that are there? So before discussing about each and every aspect of DBMS, let us discuss about what is basically DBMS. Because our today's lecture objective is you will be learning what is the role of DBMS in our daily life and how we can use the DBMS software, so that we can retrieve our queries and we can maintain large amount of data efficiently in the end. So first we are discussing about what is basically DBMS. So as you know, database, as the name implies, it is the organized collection of data that is stored and accessed electronically from a computer system. So, where databases are more complex and they are often developed using design and modeling techniques. Now, what is basically DBMS? So, it is the software that interacts with the end users. And end users, what is end user? End user is a person who is ultimately using the applications of the DBMS, or he is intended to ultimately use a product. So the end user stands in contrast to users who support or maintain the product, such as a system administrator, database administrator, information technology experts. In addition, you can add more entities to the same. So the database itself to capture and analyze the data. So database software additionally encompasses the core facilities that are provided to administrator the database. So the sum total of the database, the DBMS and the associated applications can be referred to as the database system. Often the term database is also used to loosely refer to any of the DBMS. So the database system or an application associated with the database. So there could be some distinction, or I can say classification, that is based on the behalf of the database management system according to the database model. So what is basically database model, that we are going to discuss in the later later lectures of the DBMS. Basically, I can tell you in brief, it is a type of model that determines the logical structure of a database. It fundamentally determines in which manner data can be stored, organized, and manipulated. So the most popular example of the database model is the relational model, which uses a table based format. So we will be discussing relational model later. Now, what is basically relational databases, that became dominant in 1980. Now, relational database is the concept like in which we are supposed to maintain the relationship between two tables. Now, what is basically database? We are supposed to store information in the table in the form of rows and columns. So this is what the database is. And every information that is stored in a particular database, it could be related to any other database. Like two tables could be connected together with the help of unique, or I can say common attribute, like college ID, or I can say customer ID. If I am going to relate two tables, that is customer and product, so there could be one common attribute in both the tables to which I can relate, so on the behalf of which I can maintain a relationship between the two tables. So same is the case here, but I will be discussing relational database in detail in the upcoming classes. Today we are just I am just explaining about what is basically database, what are the various uses of database, how we can operate database, what would be the functionality of database, how database come into existence, what is the difference between database and earlier systems that were being used. So this is what I am going to discuss. What are the advantages, what are the disadvantages and limitations. So we are going to discuss this today only. So there could be some relational databases that become dominant in 1980, and the models are data like models data as rows and columns in the series of tables, and the vast majority use SQL for writing and querying data. So in 2000, non-relational databases became popular, referred to as NoSQL because they use different query languages. So there are four terms that are associated with the design. DBMS. Like there could be four functions like data definition, update, retrieval, administration. So what is basically data definition? It is concerned with creation, modification, removal of definition that define the organization of data. Second is update. It is concerned with insertion, modification, and deletion of the actual data. Third is retrieval. It is concerned with providing information in the form directly usable or for further processing by other application. And the retrieved data may be made available in a form basically the same as it is stored in the database or in a new form obtained by altering or combining existing data from the database. So next is administration. What is basically administration? Registering and monitoring users, enforcing data security, monitoring performance, maintaining data integrity, dealing with concurrency control, and recovering information that has been corrupted by some events such as unexpected system failure. So we are supposed to deal with the administration process here. So moving forward, what is basically file-based database management system that was used in earlier days? So what is file-based database management system? So file-based management system, as it the name implies, it could be stored in the form of a tree. Like there could be a root node and there could be the child nodes, and child node is having further sub-child nodes. So it could be stored in that form. Root directory is there, and we are supposed to refer to the root directory by a particular hierarchy in the form of the tree. So a file-based database management system, it is also called uh, a file system, that is a type of software that allow users to access and organize small groups of data, and it usually integrated into a computer operating system and is responsible for storing and retrieving files from the storage medium such as hard disk or flash drive. So it could be the same. So what is the example of file-based system? It could be any operating system. Like it can differ between the operating systems, such as Microsoft Windows, Mac operating system, Linux-based operating system, or some file systems are designed for specific applications. And major types of file system include distributed file system, disk-based file system, and special purpose file system. So next is what are the characteristics of the file-based system? It could be concerned with storage, organization, collection of data, readable, manipulating options. In addition, coding could be associated with the same. So what is basically file-based management system? It is a system that is our first attempt of computerization of manual bookkeeping system. Next is retrieval of data was possible only by sequential reading, updating and deleting the existing record, and it was almost impossible. The only way to delete sequential file record is to create a new file which does not contain them. So these are certain terms that are associated with file-based data management system. So, and the next point is the only way to update records in the sequential file is to create a new file which contain the updated records. So, what are the various disadvantages of file-based system? There are certain disadvantages of file-based system like data redundancy, poor data control, inability to easily manipulate data, cryptic workflows. So what is basically data redundancy? That is why data redundancy means to say, as the name implies, data redundancy. It means same data is repeated over and again in many files. So the same data might be stored in different places, and we are supposed to deal with the data redundancy. Sorry, when I am referring to so many files, and all the files contain same type of data or duplicacy of data is there, then it is very difficult for me to identify which file is meant for what purpose. So in that manner, it would be difficult for me to distinguish the same. So that is why it is one of the major disadvantage of file-based management system. Second is poor data control. As the name implies, control. How the data is organized in file-based management system, it is having very, I can say, poor management, or I can say there is a no proper control that is being defined there. Like there is a no proper hierarchy that is being followed there. So redundant data might be slightly different. Next is inability to easily manipulate data. If we want to update certain records, then it is not possible for me to do that in that quick manner or in an easy manner, because there are some inabilities that are associated with the same. So it is a tedious and error prone activity to modify files by hand. Next is cryptic workflows. Cryptic mean to say like we are supposed to access the data that would take excessive programming effort and was too difficult for real users. Next is why we are getting switched to DBMS, because there could be certain pros and cons that could be associated with the database management system. So that is why we are we require some new system, because we were fed up from file-based management system. There were so many problems that were there, and we are supposed to solve those problems. So we solved those problems with the help of DBMS. Now, why we are switching to DBMS? There are certain points that we are supposed to consider: data independence and efficient access. Now, this is the first point, that is data independence. Now, data independence mean to say, because in database management system, either we can use a two-tier architecture was used in earlier days. Nowadays, three-tier architecture is used, in which we are supposed to maintain data independence. Like there is a logical file, there is a physical file, there is a conceptual level. So these are various levels that are there in database management system, and we can store logical files without being dependent on the physical files, and we can store physical files independent of the any other medium. So that is why it is written here that it is concerned with data independence, because we are supposed to deal with the independence of the data. Like one data is like, for one entity the data is not dependent on some other medium. So, and in addition, efficient access, like as and when required, as and when required. Efficient access mean to say, whenever I want to fetch the data, I can easily fetch the same without being uh, there in the queue, or without any delay. Next is reduced application development time. Now, let's discuss about file-based system. If we are talking about file-based system, then it was very difficult for us to deal with the time, because manual efforts were there. In addition, we don't know how files are arranged. So much time was there, so much development time was there. And if we are talking about, on the other hand, DBMS, then it is just a software that can operate in fraction of seconds. And what it needs, there is only one time effort that could be there, or I can invest one time efforts in developing our DBMS, and it could be used for, or I can say it could be durable for so many years, if I am not finding any problem, or if I am not encountering any uh, disadvantage of the same, then it can go beyond ages. But nowadays, technology is evolving at a very rapid rate, and we are supposed to make improvements time to time. So that is why I can say that DBMS we can develop with the help of less time. So that is why this is the comparison between file-based management system and DBMS system, that is reduced application development time. Next is data integrity and security. So what is basically data integrity? Data integrity means to say like the data that is sent from the sender side, it is as it is received by the receiver without any modification in between. That is the case now. We are supposed to maintain the integrity. In file-based system, it was impossible because you don't know where is your first record, where is your second record, where is your third record. But if I am talking about DBMS, then data integrity is highly achieved. In addition, in file-based management system, security was overlooked or it was not there. But in DBMS system, security is provided, like because everybody is relying on data and everybody can access the data, but how we are supposed to deal with the secure data, how we can say that the data is secure, data is accurate, data is not corrupted, by providing some kind of security mechanism. So that is why I can say that the data integrity and security factor is provided in DBMS. Next is uniform data administration. Leaving uniform apart, data administration. What is basically data administration? A lot of a company is having lot of data, an organization is handling a large amount of data, and there is some administrator who is handling all the who is coordinating all the activities of that particular organization with respect to database. So I can say that uniform data administration could be there, like after one process he is attached to second process, after second process he is attached to third process. So there is a continuously data administration that is provided in the organization that is concerned with DBMS. Mean to say there is someone who is handling all the activities of the DBMS, and he is coordinating with all the below level managers so that they can operate the, or I can say they can take the advantage of DBMS operations to a full potential, or I can say in full swing. Because, and in addition, it is not leaving any stone unturned in making the optimal use of the DBMS software that is developed for a particular organization. So there are various roles and responsibilities of DBA that are associated with the same, like how it is handling uniform data, how it is managing all the activities, what are the various roles of data administration, what are the various types of data that he is handling. We will be discussing in the classes, in the later classes. Next is concurrent access recovery from crashes. Now, concurrent access, as the name implies, concurrent access means to say at the same time, multiple users want to access the database. That is possible only in DBMS, and it was not possible in file-based management system. You can make a comparison. And in file-based management system, there was no recovery system that was available. But in DBMS system, if there are some crashes, if there is some natural disaster, like due to some natural disaster there are some system failures, then DBMS could easily recover from the same, because there are mechanisms, or I can say there are systems that are there who are handling the worst cases of the DBMS, because we have developed DBMS according to the same, and it can endure all the crashes. In return, it can be possible, it could be possible that there are some recovery mechanisms that are there. So next is coming to the basic definition of DBMS. What is basically DBMS? A database management system. It is the collection of programs that enables users to create and maintain our database. Obviously, so it is the general purpose software system that facilitates the process of, first of all, defining like what is the schema, what would be the physical storage structure that could be there, constructing what would be the storage medium, how we are supposed to construct the structure, how we are supposed to store the data, where we are going to store the data. Next is manipulation. There could be some updation operation like insertion, deletion, updation operation could be there that are associated with manipulation. So in addition, there is a sharing option, like how we can share database among various users. So the database management system is the general purpose software system that facilitates the processes of defining, constructing, manipulating, and sharing database among various users and applications. So the first point is concerned with the defining. Defining is a database involved. There are various specific data types that we are going to specify. Structures are there, constraints of data to be stored in the database. In addition, we are supposed to deal with the construction. So construction means to say storing the data on some storage medium that is controlled by DBMS. Manipulation, like querying the database to retrieve specific data, updating the database to reflect changes. Sharing, so it allows multiple users and programs to access the data simultaneously. Next is other important function that is provided by DBMS. It includes protecting the database and maintaining it over a long period of time. Next is protection includes system and security protection. A typical large database may have life cycle of many years, so the DBMS must be able to maintain the database system by allowing the system to evolve as the requirements changes over time. So next is what are the various benefits of DBMS. So the first one is reduction in data redundancy. What is basically data redundancy? Because we have dealt with the term data redundancy in file-based system as well. There was a lot of redundant data that was available in file-based management system, but if we are talking about DBMS system, then redundancy has been controlled with the help of the SQL queries because in SQL queries we are supposed to deal with various structures like where condition, if condition. In addition, we are supposed to use so many conditions that could be there so that we can specifically refer to a particular data that we want. So in the end, that data will be received only. So that is why this concern with reduction in data redundancy that is uh, reduced in DBMS as compared to file-based management system. Now reduction in inconsistency. Now what is basically inconsistency? Let's say we are dealing with two transactions and in between the transaction, like when the transaction begins, it was okay. But in between the first or second step, after first or second step, there was a power failure. So it could lead the database system into the inconsistency. So I can say that it leads the system into inconsistent manner, mean to say my operations are not successfully performed. But in DBMS system, if there is any disaster, there are recovery mechanisms. Like from where you stopped performing the transaction, you can start the transaction from the same step. Next is sharing of data. Now we can share the data between various users and easily they can exchange information with each other. There are certain standards that are enforced in DBMS system, like how we are supposed to define the structure, how we are supposed to define the constraints, how we are supposed to define the storage, how we are supposed to fetch the data. So each and everything is set up according to particular standards that are satisfying the DBMS software. Next is data security. It was missing in file-based management system, and we have provided data security mechanisms in DBMS system so that not everybody can access the data. Not everybody can access the data. In addition, user who is having certain privileges can access only that data. Unauthorized users are not allowed to fetch all the data. Maintenance of data integrity. Data integrity is highly achieved, mean to say there is no modification of data that is taking place. Data is uh, processed as it is, like as it is required. Like if a certain transactions are required, they could be performed in that manner only. There could not be any fabrication or modification in between. Next is it is having better interaction with the users and it is efficient system, like quick responses are there. Now what is the purpose of database system? Database management systems were developed to handle the following difficulties of typical file processing system that was supported by conventional operating systems. So what are those? Data redundancy and inconsistency, as I told you earlier. Difficulty in accessing data. Now in file-based system, it was very difficult to access the data because we have to look for so many files. So many files are there. We have to search, and in DBMS system, everything is available with the help of single query. So it is quite efficient, it is time saving and quick in response. Isolation. Data isolation means to say there are multiple files and formats that are available in that file-based management system, because everybody is storing data in files according to their own format, but that was uh, standardized in DBMS system. So database system provided a standard format in which the data can be stored and in which the data can be located. Next is integrity problems, as I discussed earlier. We have solved the problem of integrity as it was missing in file-based management system. Now, atomicity of updates. Atomicity of updates is concerned with inconsistency as well. Now, atomicity means to say like uh, I can say if I am performing a transaction, there is a sender A and there is a receiver B. So from account A, I am sending some money to B. So there could be certain steps that could be there in performing this transaction. Either if I am starting the transaction, if I am supposed to begin the transaction, then I am supposed to finish the same, because there is no thing that is like partially committed. Mean to say after half steps I am supposed to commit the transaction. Either I am supposed to complete all the steps of the transaction or I am not supposed to start at all. So that is concerned with atomicity of updates. Next is concurrent access by multiple users. At the same time, multiple users can access the database in DBMS system. Security problems have been resolved in DBMS system. So there are various components that are making database management system. So what are those? People, hardware, software, and data. So what is basically data? Data is a raw data. It could be numeric data, it could be character data, it could be anything. So it is stored in the database. It includes numerical data, whole numbers, floating point numbers, non-numerical data, in characters, date, logical values. Hardware of the system can range from a network of computers. It also includes various storage devices, input and output devices. Software of a DBMS include the DBMS, operating system, network software, and the application programs. Users. There are three classes of users: application programmers and users, database administrators. So if I am talking about application programmers that develop application programs, and users that are interacting with the sorry, that access the database from a terminal using a query language. Next is database administrator, the design, construction, and maintenance of database. Next is there is a comparison between file-based management system and database management system. So applications must stage large data sets between main memory and secondary storage, for example, buffering, page-oriented access, 32-bit addressing, etc. In addition, special code for different queries are required, must protect data from inconsistency due to multiple concurrent access. Next is crash recovery. We are supposed to deal with crash recovery, security, and access control. What is the purpose of database management system? Now we are discussing it in detail. In earlier days, the database applications were built directly on the top of the file system. So there were various drawbacks that were associated with the same, like drawbacks of using file system to store data. So there are certain terms like data redundancy, inconsistency, difficulty in accessing data, data isolation, integrity problems were there, like there could be various integrity constraints that are there, like account balance is greater than zero, or then hard to retrieve new constraints. Next is, in addition, we are supposed to deal with concurrent access by multiple users. Concurrent access needed for performance. Uncontrolled concurrent access can lead to inconsistencies. For example, two people reading a balance and updating it at the same time. So it could be a problem. So what is atomicity of the updates? As I told you earlier, failures may leave the database in an inconsistent state with partial updates carried out. For example, transfer of funds from one account to another should either complete or not happen at all. Next is security problems, hard to provide user access to some, but not at all data. So there are various types of databases that are available, like single user that could support only one user at a time, desktop that is single user database running on the personal computer, multi-user support multiple users at the same time, work group that is multi-user database that support a small group of users or a single department. Enterprise is concerned with large database that is concerned with an organization. It could be classified by location like centralized or distributed. If I am talking about centralized mean to say a single control is there and organization is having a single DBA that is controlling all the operations of the database, and all the requests or all the hierarchy could be followed from that single step. Distributed mean to say data is distributed in various departments and various departments can exchange data with each other. So centralized is support data located at single site and distributed support data distributed across several sites. So there are various languages, data languages that we are supposed to use, like database provide data definition language, data manipulation language. In addition, there are so many languages, but two main languages are data definition language and manipulation. Definition language, as the name implies, DDL. So it is concerned with defining the schemas, physical storage structure of the data. Manipulation is concerned with updations. So data language is that the database provides a data definition language to specify the database schema, and the manipulation to express database queries and updates. So data definition language is concerned with definition, manipulation is concerned with operations like add, insert, delete, update. Storage definition language, it is concerned with how we are supposed to store the data in database, and view definition language is concerned with the pictorial representation of the database. So first is we are supposed to deal with data definition language. What is basically data definition language? We specify a database schema by set of definitions that are expressed by a special language called data definition language. And the DDL is used to create and delete database and its objects. So these commands are mainly used by the DBA during the building and removal phases of the database project. For example, we can use various commands, like we are supposed to use alter command, drop command, truncate command, comment command, and rename command. So next is data manipulation language, language for accessing and manipulating the data that is organized by appropriate data model. So it is also known as query language. It is concerned with retrieval of information that is stored in the database, insertion of new information into the database, deletion of information from the database, modification of information stored in the database. So there are two classes that are associated with the same, that is procedural language and non-procedural language. Procedural, as the name implies, there is a query about uh, that thing is to be done and how that thing is to be done, that is also mentioned here. In non-procedural language, it specifies what data is required, but it is not mentioning how we are supposed to retrieve that data. So that is non-procedural language. Next is database administrator. What is basically database administrator? As I told you earlier, it coordinates all the activities of the database system. The database administrator has a good understanding of the enterprise information resources and various needs, and there are various duties of database administrator that are there, like schema definition. We are supposed to deal with the structure, storage structure, access method definition, how we are supposed to access the database, what would be the storage requirement, like what are the types of data, what are the size of data types that we are going to store, schema and physical organization of the modification that I told you in the first step. Now there is a right that is granting user authority to access the database. So there could be privileges that could be given to various users so that they can operate the database in an efficient manner. Next is we are supposed to specify integrity constraint, like certain conditions. Where data is less than 20, then that entries will be there. Where account balance is greater than this, then only this query will be performed. So these are certain types of constraints that we are going to deal with. Now, acting as a liaison with user, and in addition, it is concerned with monitoring, performance, and responding to changes in the requirement. So next is various types of database users. So users are differentiated by the way they expect to interact with the system. There are various types of users. Application programmers interact with the system through DML calls. Specialized users write specialized database applications that do not fit into the traditional data processing framework. Sophisticated users that are concerned with form requests in the database query language. Naive users invoke one of the permanent applications programs that have been written previously. Now, what are the advantages of DBMS? Data independence. Data independence mean to say application program should not ideally be exposed to details of the data representation and storage. Mean to say if we are dealing with data independence, mean to say there is a physical data independence and there is a logical independence. Now, physical independence is not dependent on logical, and logical is not independent on physical. Physical layer is performing their operations independently. They are not requiring any additional data and they are not exposing what they are performing as a logic to their database. In the same manner, if I am talking about physical database, then it is not revealing whatever the operations are there they are performing. They are not interfering with each other or they are not interacting with each other. Physical database is totally different from logical database and both operate in an independent manner. It is not the case that physical data independence is dependent on logical data independence and logical data independence is dependent on the physical data independence. So this is not possible. Next is efficient data access. So there are certain functions that are given to us by database management system in which we can quickly retrieve a query. In a fraction of second, we can perform the query and we can retrieve the results as and when required. So this is the main advantage of DBMS system. Like efficient responses are there, efficient data access is there. So a DBMS uses several powerful functions to store the data and retrieve the data efficiently because storing is already done in an appropriate manner and that is why there is no difficulty in retrieving the data. Next is data integrity and security. As I told you earlier, there is no modification in data that is being processed, and in addition, there are security measures that are there. So that is why it is leading to more integrity or more integrity is achieved. So DBMS enforce various constraints. Integrity constraints are there, like you are supposed to enter a certain amount of data or certain amount of cash in a particular account, only then the transaction will be processed, otherwise the transaction is not going to process. So there are a lot of constraints that could be associated with the same. It could be banking transaction, it could be any other transaction, it could be any other activity that I am going to operate with the help of DBMS. So DBMS enforces integrity constraints to get a kind of protection against prohibited access to data. So if there is some prohibition, if there is some control that is defined, then we are not supposed to cross the same with the help of the integrity and security measures that are provided in the DBMS. Next is what are the various advantages of database management system. First is data administration. Data administration, like we are supposed to coordinate the activities when any user share the data. Centralizing the administration of the data can offer significant improvements. So concurrent access and crash recovery is there if there are any problems that we are supposed to deal with the database management system. Then we can think of the data as being accessed by only one user at a time. So there could be some measures that could be used in order to protect the system from the failure. So concurrent access and crash recovery is the system like DBMS schedules concurrent access to data, but there is a condition that is associated with that same, that it could provide access to the data in a manner that users can think of the data as being accessed by only one user at a time. So DBMS also protect users from the effects of system failure. Next is reduced application development time. Like as I told you earlier, there is a less development time that is associated with the same. So DBMS includes several important functions that are common to many applications accessing data in DBMS. So in conjunction with high level interface to the data that facilitates quick application development. There are various disadvantages that are associated with DBMS as well, because if we are having, no system is 100% perfect. Complexity, size, everything is complex, because we are supposed to deal with the complexity. We are supposed to learn the various operations that are getting performed in DBMS. So if we are able to perform the operations that are there in DBMS, then it is very easy for us to operate the same. Next is size. Size of DBMS is large because so much data is there. Next is technical experts are required. Obviously, if we are dealing with a software system, then experts are required for the same, so that they can operate the DBMS in an efficient manner. Cost of DBMS, obviously, hardware cost, software cost, technical experts cost. In addition, so many costs are there. Additional hardware cost is there. How to perform monitoring, how to perform maintenance, because maintenance is main thing that is being there in DBMS. Without maintenance, DBMS is having no significance. Higher impact of failure is there, because we are operating in software mode. Centralization, as I told you earlier, everything is available in single place, and there are various rights, there are various privileges that are there. And if someone wants to access the data, then he can do the same if the grants are received. Next is limited statistical capabilities. We cannot perform much statistical operations on the DBMS, like it cannot perform sophisticated calculations. In addition, there are some security issues. So, what is the summary of DBMS today's lecture? So, we have discussed about data, that is the raw facts and figures, and information is the result of processing data to reveal its meaning. To implement and manage a database, we are supposed to use our DBMS system. Database design defines the database structure. A well-designed database facilitates data management and generates accurate and valuable information. Poorly designed database can lead to bad decision making, and bad decision making can lead to failure of the organization. Databases were preceded by file-based systems. File-based systems were used in first place. Limitations of file-based system include like require extensive programming, system administration complex, and it is quite difficult. And in addition, if we are supposed to make changes to existing structure, it is quite difficult. Securing feature like security features, they are inadequate. They are not up to the mark. Independent files tend to contain redundant data. Redundant data is there. So DBMS, they are developed to address file-based system inherent weaknesses. So this was all about my today's class, in which we have discussed about the introduction to database management system. So there is a book, reference book, that is available in the college library. It is a book by Korth, and you can get it issued from the college library. Today's MCQ is given, 10 questions are given, and you are supposed to do all the 10 questions. Each question is having 4 choices, and you are supposed to take any one answer. So at the end of the class, you are supposed to submit me all the answers. So have a look at all the questions that have been there. So this was all about my today's class. If you are having any query, then you can ask me any question. Just have a look at all the slides that have been discussed so far. And if you are having any query regarding any topic, then I will repeat it. Thank you. Have a nice day.